What's up everybody, it's Megan with Project Freya. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I want to touch on a subject I have touched a little bit on in the past, which is motivation. I've made a whole video in the past about motivation, and I think even in the last one I mentioned motivation and the fact that it's fleeting. And yeah, today I wanted to have another real conversation with you. This week, past few days have been not so great mental health days for me. The stream has been a little lower on viewership. The chat's been a little quiet. Things in other parts of my life are not as perfect as they could be. And when you combine that, you get me. Sometimes it becomes a little hard to stay motivated, and when I sat down originally this morning, I couldn't think of anything to do a video about. Which, if you are a content creator of any sort, my one tip to you is to have a plan. Because going without a plan leaves it so there's a chance you can wake up on your day to film videos and have nothing. And if you have no motivation and no plan, you might skip an upload, and then skip another upload, or cancel your stream, or stop posting to Instagram. Do you see the pattern here? I don't believe in making a video to fill a time slot for any algorithm, or just to put, I don't think you should just put stuff out that you know isn't good, just to put it out there. Here's how I mustered up some motivation to get this video done today. Spend some time looking at creators that either you want to emulate, you admire, or provide some sort of advice. Like I've mentioned before, like Harris Heller, Alpha Gaming. There's tons of others, Ashney Christ, that do stream specific, but stream and YouTube specific. But if there are other sorts of creation that you want, there is someone on YouTube that already makes the content that you could probably learn from, and that you could probably replicate and be fine. That, I feel like, is approaching a bit of a rabbit hole that I don't want to go in quite yet, because that's not what this video is about. But that was my first step, is I watched some people giving some good advice, because that's something I like to look at, and it got me pumped up to want to at least create good content for you today. Did my Ring Fit exercise. I've talked about this also. The Ring Fit has been great for me, and I think it's more than just the fact that I'm locked in the house because the world is crazy out there. Part of why I like the Ring Fit is that I like things, and most people, a lot of people, like things that are measurable. You want to be able to see, I've lost 5 pounds. I cut 100 calories, right? That's measurable stuff that you can track and then see your progress. Put that on a smaller scale on the actual workout itself. So part of why I liked to actually go to the gym is I would have a plan. See, things all tie in together here. But, you know, you would do a certain number of sets with a certain number of reps, and it gives you a measurable amount. So I knew when I was gonna be done, but also what I had achieved. And I think something I like about the Ring Fit is that you can see your progress. You can see how much you have left in a certain, like, it's trackable. It's all stuff you can see here and now, which is nice, because it's, okay, I'm gonna do one more level and then I'm satisfied. You never left wondering, like, when is this gonna be over? Things like that. I hope that made sense. But exercise, and I'm sure you've all heard this before, releases things that help your noggin. I'm not saying it's a substitute for any sort of medication if you need it, but it helps. It's always helped me. So even though my negative brain this morning wanted to not make a video and to not exercise, I made sure at least a little time into the Ring Fit. I actually ended up going longer today than I normally do. And I felt great. And then I made a healthy smoothie afterwards. So now I've got healthy food powering my body, exercise, which leads me long term to being a better me and makes me feel better right now. And I've got the motivation that I wanted because I watched other content that was motivating. But that's I have a tendency to ramble and get a little off track, so I'm sorry, but I hope all of that made sense. Something else that I try to do is I have a happy planner. You don't need the happy planner, but you can have any sort of journaling program, scheduling program, whatever is going to work for you that you enjoy. I like it because you can do pretty stickers and make a theme and decorate them in a way that makes you happy when you look at it. And it's like motivating to keep doing it because the fun in decorating, you know, it's happy to look at. So I try to at least jot down some like content ideas in that where I organize everything else. The planner, I do have a tendency when I get really bad about things to neglect first. Tends to be the first thing that I stop doing. So take that bit of advice as you will, but when I'm already slightly more on track, I find it really helpful to do it. It's just the action of doing it and making it a habit that becomes a little difficult. And if I have to pick between, you know, exercise and doing a planner, I'd rather learn the habit of exercise, if that makes sense. That rambling aside, one of the things that gets me kind of in this negative headspace is when things don't go exactly how I want them to. Most people love instant gratification, right? Like you want to put in the work for things and then have them because you did the work. Let me have them, right? So I have a tendency to get a little discouraged when I don't get some sort of instant gratification, or if I see regression, that can be really discouraging. So after a week of poor streams, and what I mean by that is maybe there's less activity in the chat or less viewers, that can lead to a spiral in my headspace that makes me think I'm starting to fail, I'm doing something wrong. Well, I'm not saying that you are doing everything perfectly and you don't need to change. Chances are, if you've had the progress in the past and it's starting to fall off, you can fix it or you can get even better than you were. You just have to put in the effort. Complacency is a thing that happens. So you're in a position where your chat is starting to die down. Your viewership is starting to die down. Not drastically, but enough that you've noticed a little bit of a difference over maybe a small course of time here, okay? What do? My first thing is to check in with my community. Now, I don't mean, hey guys, you're not in chat lately, what you doing? That's not what I mean. What I mean is just asking how they are, making sure everyone's okay. Because chances are, if they've started to distance from me, either I haven't been as active with them or something's going on and I just want to make sure everybody is doing okay. And then you keep doing that because you care about your community and you want to know how they are. And if you've been slacking on that, then try and remember not to. After you've checked in with your community, think of the one person, whether that be a VIP in your community or a moderator or a spouse or a friend, whoever is someone that does support you in this. You don't want to run off to like the friend that thinks this is a waste of time. You know what I mean? So find that person that you can talk to about this stuff who isn't going to instantly tell you you're wasting your time. See if you can kind of bounce ideas off them, if they've noticed anything that may have changed. For me, that person is always going to be my spouse. Brings me back into things like, hey, what have you done differently lately? I noticed the Discord's gotten quiet lately. You know, somebody that's going to be supportive, but also call you out on the things that maybe you have kind of stopped seeing, you know? Fire some ideas off that person and then act upon those ideas. I think it's very important that if you are in this rut, that you don't immediately run to the numbers and see, oh, my viewers are down, panic or failure, you know, those words that are going to run through your brain. What you want is to look for things that may be a little different. Like, I encourage you to look through your VODs. And for some of you that may feel uncomfortable, because I know I didn't really like watching myself in the beginning. I've gotten kind of used to it now because editing a YouTube video, you're going to look at yourself a lot. But go through your VODs, see if there's extensive periods of time where you're not saying anything, or is everything that you're saying sort of negative? Because that's gonna drive, I mean, people, who's gonna sit there and listen to you just complain about something? Not really great content, you know? And don't feel inclined to stick to a particular game that's driving you nuts because you don't want to disappoint viewers or things. You have to do what's best for your content and what's best for you. Once you've kind of gone through all of that, found some things you can work on for the long term, I encourage you to go back through, look at stuff you can do in the short term, look for things to talk about in your Discord, look for maybe your panels can be spruced up. And I'm not saying that these little things are going to drastically improve your view count or something like that. It's more about getting in the constant mental thought process of how can I make this better? Content creation is a full-time thing. Yes, it's great. You get to create your own hours, but your hours are all of them. You will lay in bed at night and think of things that you can do. Think of what game you're gonna play. Think of things to talk about on tomorrow's stream or the next day. Think of how can I spruce up the appearance? How can I, you know, it's gonna be like that. You're going to have late nights where your friends are playing a game, but you you are editing your video. You are writing topics down to talk about on stream tomorrow. It's all about creating that mind of, I have to constantly be thinking of things that I can do to be better. All right, so I know that I just kind of sat here and rambled for a while, but I feel like walking you through the way my mind got to right here to make this video, I felt like it was something I wanted to share and is kind of important. My brain can be kind of chaotic, so the chaotic structure of the video is just kind of part of the process. I really like this format of just being real and honest with you. I hope that this doesn't come across in any way as I just get up and do things or something like that, because it takes a lot of dedication and willpower to get from the point of I'm a failure, I need to just quit, to making a video about motivation, you know? It takes a lot to get there, and it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna keep reminding you, it's normal that it's this hard. But I really thought I would share that struggle with you guys. If one person resonates with how difficult things are, and that they can get past it and make good content or do whatever it is that they're trying to get done, then it was worth it. If you liked my rambling, make sure you leave that thumbs up, actually, right down there. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, please. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.